route. President Trump announced on Truth Social that he had a quote-unquote truly great meeting with President Xi Jinping of China, saying there is enormous respect between the two nations and many important issues were agreed upon. Trump said China has agreed to continue the flow of rare earth critical minerals and magnets openly and freely. Trump stated that China has strongly agreed to work diligently with the United States to stop the flow of fentanyl into the country. He also announced that China will begin the process of purchasing American energy, including a possible large-scale transaction involving oil and gas from the great state of Alaska. Chris White, Doug Burgum and their respective energy teams will be meeting to see if such an energy deal can be worked out, Trump claimed. Trump called the agreements historic and concluded, quote, "Our nation is strong, respected and admired again, and the best is yet to come." We are now joined by Andrew K.P. Leung. He is a China strategist. He joins us live from Hong Kong. Now, just then, Andrew, we heard what America is going to get out of this deal from China. What is China going to get out of the United States?
Well, the Trump administration, the Trump presidency, always want to get the lion's share in the sense that he's weaponizing the United States as the largest market in the world and trying to use all sorts of coercive tactics to bring his adversaries to heel. Now, this may work with lesser nations, but it doesn't necessarily work completely on China, because China has now found a new, very effective and highly damaging strong stranglehold on Americans' Achilles heel, which is, of course, the rare earths. Now, President Trump said that China is going to renew the free flow of rare earths. But of course, the deal, as announced by spokesmen on both sides, is only for deferring the rare earth restrictions for 1 year. Of course, it can be renewed for another year, but just deferment, meaning that China is not going to give up entirely its stranglehold on rare earths. And you can see that President Trump's Asia tour also includes a great number of deals with Asian partners, partnering nations, including Japan, including South Korea. A lot of the deals relate to rare earths, and that suggests an eagerness, if not anxiety, on the side of the United States. Now, as for the oil from Alaska, of course, China is now the world's largest oil customer. That's why the Middle East is now recalibrating its relationship with China, because the biggest customer for Middle East oil used to be the United States, but now the United States is a net energy exporter. Now, of course, China doesn't have to buy oil from any particular country in particular, and I think that China would be amenable to buy more oil from the United States if this helped to stabilize the relationship. Now, it's more than just a trade war, as I air my views on this channel before. It is an existential rivalry between two great powers for global dominance for the part of the United States and for the right to grow its economy, to grow the strength of its nation on the part of China. Now, these structural differences are not going to be resolved anytime soon, because the Trump presidency is doubling down not only on tariffs, not only restrictions on on technology or semiconductors, but also military alliances with American allies in the Asia Pacific, including Japan, including South Korea, including Australia. And of course, ideology, and is also painting China into a corner as if China was an evil empire, that kind of thing. So I think that there's fundamental differences and also differences in kind of relationship. And as I said, the Trump administration always wants the lion's share, if not winner takes all. But China's philosophy is always give and take, as in the case of buying a certain product, a seller gets something, the buyer gets something. But that's not in President Trump's playbook. He always wants to win the lion's share. But apart from the war on technology, on semiconductors, it's also a war on narratives. So you can see that President Xi is trying to hype this kind of meeting, supposed to last for about 3 or 4 hours, lasting for only 1.5 hours, and he's trumping it to say, the United States is set to win a great deal. Of course, China doesn't want to go to war with the United States. China wants to have a peaceful environment to grow this economy and to bring more goodies to its people. But I think that the fundamental differences between the two countries are likely to be resolved entirely. But at least this is a temporary pause. In time for another meeting, perhaps in April, when President Xi is supposed to visit China again, and President Xi is supposed to visit the United States in return.
Yes, indeed. Before we do get on to that, fentanyl is another talking point that Donald Trump wanted to address. China has pledged to tackle that issue of the trafficking of fentanyl, which Donald Trump says flows through China. Fentanyl kills around 45 to 48,000 Americans per year. China has said it's going to work on this prior to this, but Donald Trump thinks that they have not put enough effort into tackling this. Has China meaningfully acted on that promise before? If so, is this just going to be another symbolic pledge by Beijing?
No, I don't think it's a symbolic pledge because the fentanyl is not all about China. It's about the supply channels. Through the waters for example, in the Caribbean, to certain narcotic producers in South America. Sorry. Hence, the recent attack of sending an aircraft carrier group to destroy certain ships in certain South American nations. So it is a whole supply chain, not about China. And of course, the root cause is the addiction of the American people to this kind of drug. But of course, China has been tightening the supply of chemicals, but maybe the tightening is not strong enough to satisfy President Trump's wishes. And of course, China is amenable to further tightening these chemicals. Now, the problem is that these chemicals may not be just used for fentanyl, may be used for other products. But here again, it's a complicated issue, but I don't think that China is deliberately trying to loosen the control of the chemicals. It's just that it's a very complicated, interconnected supply and value chain for the fentanyls import to the United States, including drug cartels in South America, including the addiction of the American people.
Okay, Andrew KP Leung, thank you very much. Do stay with us. We have further news